Hi students, I'd like to talk with you a little bit about attachment. Be sure to also review the full PowerPoint slides for this module that are posted in our Blackboard course. As you know, attachment is an emotional tie between two persons. What we're looking at in this module is really about attachment during infancy. As you read in the textbook, you'll learn about the strange situation, which is by far the most widely used measure of attachment during infancy. And I do want you to note that this strange situation is done when an infant is 1 year old. You'll also notice from the text that there are some criticisms of the strange situation as a measure of attachment, but it is still the most widely used measure that we have. I do want you to know the categories of attachment as defined by the strange situation. I also want you to realize, though, that some of the criticisms have to do with the fact that infants can change categories over time, especially if a child endures a divorce or illness of a parent, or a parent goes off to war. That will disrupt the attachment and perhaps change their attachment category. One thing I want you to think about as you work through this module is, does attachment really matter? It seems to depend on who you ask. This is a screenshot of a website, AskDrSears.com, and it's all about attachment parenting. And Dr. Sears is a real advocate for attachment parenting. Dr. Sears and others believe that during infancy we create an internal working model of relationships. In other words, we learn to either trust others, as Erik Erikson noted, or mistrust others during that first year of life, depending on whether our needs were responded to and whether people were sensitive to our needs. Research on the strange situation has also shown us that there are many long-term positive outcomes associated with being securely attached as an infant. On the other hand, I do want you to know that there are critics who would argue that too much emphasis is placed only on the early years and the first year of life. So consider someone who was adopted. Certainly they still may attach very closely to their parents, even if they weren't together with them the first year of their life. And there are certainly other influences in life that can affect our attachment and our internal working models. Be sure to also review the slide about reactive attachment disorder. You can click on those links to read more about it. Be careful as you investigate this, though, not to jump to conclusions about someone that you know based on some of the symptoms that you see. You would want a complete diagnosis to be done. Essentially, RAD is really a nurture-based disorder. In other words, it's a lack of nurture early in life that causes someone to have a very negative internal working model. That's all the time I have to talk with you about thoughts on attachment.